Hey everybody, Asher here, back with more RimWorld, where I'm a little scared. Let's just be honest here. In the last episode, we had to go all the way across the map to fight some alien menace that crashed over here. You can still see where the ground is burnt from where the melee ensued. And we still actually have a few things that we can pick up and haul from over here. We actually have some steel slags as well, which is one reason that we are now researching machining, to try and be able to use the parts that we have here. Now, oh wow, it's actually like a really dead part. Anyway, so that is this thing, which it seems to be not rotting, which is great. But we have some issues here, partially because of the fact that we lost some people, so I have a feeling that either the AI is going to send some new people to us, or we're just going to have to make do with what we have. Which is fine either way. Now, I did replace this tailor's bench with a wood sculptor's bench, because sculpting will be something that will hopefully keep the joy up in the winter just a little bit. I actually do have a tailor's bench over here. And let me check my bills. What the hell? I thought I had bills going on for this, but apparently I don't. And with winter time coming here pretty soon, we do need to actually get a few bills in place here, whether it's a parka, whether it's pants. Let's do it until we have 10. Whether it's I'm going to go for toques instead of cowboy hats. We'll do it until we have 10 of each, and that explains why some of that stuff hasn't been built. Now, Stonecutter's table should be make stone blocks for forever, and if we look at our resources here and our blocks that are available, we have all different kinds of blocks, so that's very exciting. The other thing is that we need to haul all this stuff in because winter is coming soon, and once again, we do not have, as great as it would be, we do not actually have a lot of people in place to get this stuff taken care of. So maybe one more person will be given. The most important part of today's episode is going to be kind of two fronts here. We're going to need a lot more steel. Fortunately, we are in a position where in order to get our living quarters in place, and this is part of the benefit of lots of people dying, is that we only really need how many heaters? One. Let's put the heaters in front of the animals. Waddles is still with us. I wasn't sure if that was going to be the case. 1, 2, 3, and heater number 4, and that should be okay. With these vents, this will let the air pass through, and everybody should be okay. We want temperature control as best as possible because we're not building into the mountain. We have kind of a open town here. When winter comes in October is probably going to be when these crops start to die, because if we look at the world where we are right now, we're in the last month of our growing season. So this very well could be our last harvest, which is going to be very important to get this Zerigium up all we can. It's going to be very important to get all of this stuff all we can. So let's go ahead and hit the resume button here just a little bit, and let's speed it up some, because the first step that we're... See, there we go. It's already outside of the ideal temperature range. We do have a fire. And I do want to check real quick here. I haven't done this in a while. Let's check the home zone real quick. I don't really care about the graves being the home zone, so we're going to expand the home zone to over here too. And we'll put it all the way over here just to make sure it's all together. Because yeah, we don't want that. Well, it's raining right now. It's a rainy thunderstorm, so that should be okay here. The next step though is going to be that we need to build a sun lamp. We need to specifically build a few sun lamps here. So we have everybody rushing around doing their thing here. And I do want to stop and plan this just a little bit, because we have how many fields that we can fit in here? Possibly 2. If I put you guys up like this, we may be able to repurpose these fields. I'm not going to flick these lamps on until later on. So if we put you there, then you can click on the sun lamp perhaps. I thought you could. So we put one sun lamp right there in the middle of the field. So we want to get as much of that fertile soil as possible. It's going to be probably up to over here as well. We just want to have as much coverage as we can. It doesn't have to be perfect coverage. And while I do want to put up as many of these up as possible, one of the issues is that sun lamps take a whole hell of a lot of wattage. It doesn't necessarily say here, but trying to have growth in the winter can be a really big pain in the ass. So unfortunately, those are not planning very well. There is an actual plan button. I forget where exactly it is. Here's the plan key. So what we're going to do is we're going to build kind of a biodome here and try and grow as many crops as possible in the winter in this enclosed area. I do have another geothermal space over here, and I think that's compacted steel. It's actually ordered to mine it as well. And once we get that into place, we actually will have plenty of power to get all that together, and hopefully we can grow. But the first thing is getting everything built here. So because polar barracks in the map, healthy relationships with the Grey Forest people are improved, and we actually look at all these people here. Grey Forest people is only -10. Abbers of the Horse are hostile. They just don't like us. Nobody really likes us. Beggar's Desert. Rocket Pack, who sent a lot of people into us. And they're a gang of bandits. Their technology level depends on who they manage to steal from people. They're a tribe. These people have been here for a very long time. Maybe their ancestors crashed thousands of years ago and they survived. Some tribes are more aggressive than others. Then we have an outlander town. People have lived here for decades or centuries and have lost most of their technology that brought them to this world. They usually work with simple mechanical tools to defend themselves. Those are the people that tried to help us before. So, as we go around here building everything, trying to get steel, like I said, we've got to prioritize some hauling here. What are you doing? You're mining compacted steel. That's good. Who can we actually have haul? Okay, you're training a pig. You're hauling steel. Good. So Phoebe's growing. We've got to make sure that everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing. So Andy is researching. That's going to be very important. Keys right now is hauling because what else? Keys doesn't have anything to build right now other than what I put there before. Vector is hunting, which is good. Phoebe should be cooking. And Allah should be mining. So we actually have a little bit more compacted steel over here, so we can actually do this too. Now, it is entirely possible that we mine into some areas and hit some bad stuff. And if that's the case, that's just what happens. But see, we have some resources sitting around, and I think it's very interesting that we only have fine meals right now, but that is okay. We currently have 20 meals available. Where are our simple meals sitting? I guess they're all just sitting right here. Okay. Well, Vector is going to be skilling up for his growing. Once again, he doesn't have a passion for it, but he does have some skill. He should be level 5 eventually. But we are going to have to get some hauling in place here in a hurry. So there's another day. Winter is coming soon. We may have to try and put somebody else on the harvest as well. There's not too many options. I mean, machining is not that huge of a priority now. Maybe we should just have Andy hauling for the time being. Machining is one of those things that'll be good to have. Let's see, what's Andy hauling? Hauling wood to stockpile 1. Let's prioritize hauling the food. Let's prioritize, oh, Andy. Andy wants to eat. Waddles wants to eat. Waddles probably can use some more training right now. Rescue the wounded. And release the distant targets instead of just defending the master. Alright. We do want to train your rescue. Piggy. Piggy 3. You're trained to haul. Train you to rescue as well. And Pig 1. We can make you attack, Piggy. Alright. So Andy's going to haul as well, and we'll get all of our supplies. Waddles is wandering around, because that's fun. Key's hauling all the steel here, so we have 1 lamp available. And let's turn off the power right now. It actually shouldn't be connected. I don't want it to be connected right now. But it is in fact connected, so that's good that we can turn it off. Now the next order of business is actually going to be... Let's see here. How far does this go? Let's actually use our plan key here. So this goes 5 there. And this is a little hard for me to see, unfortunately. So if we 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we actually need to move this up. Maybe 1 or 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. it looks like that might actually work. Not perfectly, but... So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So yeah, they match up. I eyeballed that just well. Just well enough. Alright. So let's go ahead and build, instead of steel walls, because we need our steel for other stuff here, let's build some, we don't have, what do we have the most of? We have marble, we have granite. One issue that we're going to have is that this does cut off some of the defense that we have, but we do have a lot of granite chunks here. So let's go ahead. The important thing for the sun lamps is that you want to actually select this. And we don't need to have 100% coverage in the room here, but we do know where the growing area is going to be. So we're going to build this over here. 1, 2. I don't know if 2 fields is going to be enough or if we want a third, so we may actually have another one here before too long. Let's actually put our planning back in place. Alright. Now the reason that I'm leaving some space here is because I really want to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What I'm hoping to do here is to have kind of a big place where things can just grow and be themselves. But I do want to keep some area available because I have a feeling I'm going to need to have a third area here. So we're going to do a steel auto door, steel auto door, steel auto door. And I think I actually put that in. There's one more plan here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So we want to put this just one over. And this is all granite wall. Any particular reason for granite wall? Impassable wall holding up a roof. It does take more work to make, but it's not flammable. We don't want these stores to catch on fire here. But once we have this area in here, we are going to keep this area pretty climate controlled, which is one reason that we are going to keep these areas a little big and separate. We want to have multiple heaters here to make sure that that happens. I guess we'll need to make sure we have electricity running through the walls as well, and like I said, it's entirely possible that I expand this for a third, but at least as we have just only a little bit of time to make this right now. I want to make sure the sun lamps are in place, and if I have to swap out granite for something else. I mean, who's our crafter right now? Phoebe. Unfortunately, also our cook. So we'll see. Maybe we can put Vector in as crafting, and that craft low-level skilled labor, including stone cutting, smelting, and more. What's his crafting skill? Not awesome, but better than hers. Vector's also our grower. So we'll see how we're doing here before too long. Because Vector right now is doing the harvesting thing, which is very important. And he's going to need to keep that job going. Andy, how do you do with crafting? He's a level 4 crafter. In fact, it may be ideal for him to go ahead and craft first. So everybody over here, it's September 7th. The cold dark is coming. It is below ideal temperatures for some of these things, so we're going to have to harvest some of the stuff before things get freezing. We already have a really good rice harvest, which is nice. We don't have a ton of steel. Well, we have a ton of steel laying around. So everybody's eating, that's good. Vector continuing to harvest. I'll, you know what, I think you've mined enough right now. Can she actually haul? Yes, she can. So we'll get that there in just a second. So now she's going to haul, which is very important. Because I think with that steel that's sitting out there, we will have enough to actually build things up. And Vector's going to get all this stuff together. I just want to follow and make sure the workflow is going okay. And he's going to be making more blocks, which is great because we have slags, which is not that good, but we have plenty of granite, plenty of marble, plenty of other stuff. So I wish I could just set this to a follow field right now. I'm actually... Can I pause? No, we're gonna not allow sowing here. That's what we do. Growing sown. Let's stop sowing. Because that's a big old waste of time right now. We'll get back to that in a little bit. Because it's almost the end of time. We're not going to get any more growth out of these outdoor fields before too long. So what I want to know then in that case is that when she's done cooking, feed the test subject, is that what she just does all day? I mean, I still have some food. I don't have a ton of food. I have a bunch of food laying around. So maybe I can set... Well, Phoebe can haul. Well, we have a lot of people who are set to hauling right now. So let's see, we have... I wonder why Phoebe is... Is this bed assigned to Phoebe? No, she just prefers to sleep in here. Right, so when she makes a bunch of meals, is there's... Keys is starting to do what he does. Which is good. Like I said, it's nice that our town's actually working like it's supposed to today. Which means an invasion is probably imminent. So Vector, what are you doing? You're training waddles. Let's actually... You can't haul. Hauling personal shield. Let's go ahead and haul steel. Alright. So we need to get that out of here. Rainy thunderstorm again. Haul more steel. We got a lot of steel laying around, so that's really good. And Phoebe's actually crafting, so that's even better. Alright. Why is she stressed? Very ugly environment, feeling bad. Well, I do gotta clean up some stuff here. Shared bedroom. Phoebe wants some privacy. Okay, well. Vector the owner, owner nobody. Let's set this as Phoebe's bed. Let's see if that helps her. Wearing tattered apparel, slept in the cold, disturbed sleep. So this is why we need to get our heaters up and hurry. So we have one heater right away. Setting the target temperature to 70 degrees for the animals. And Annie. So cold nighttime as we have a rotting boar. So more fire, but fortunately it's coming with the thunderstorm. It's not like the side game that I'm playing here that's in the desert where it's just all dry thunderstorms. And we have our first granite walls that are being built. Now granite walls do take a bit longer to build. So we'll see if wood is going to be the way to go, because we have a lot of wood. So I'm trying to make granite happen here, because granite is a stronger material. But when growing season's gone, it's going to be gone. Looks like we're doing okay, though, other than food. We don't have a lot of meat, and we gotta haul in. Well, Waddles is hauling in medicine, that's good. We are going to allow for sowing here. And I think we're just gonna have to prioritize getting this indoors as much as as cute as I think it would be to have this be all granite. So let's change this. Can we just change this to wood? Alright, so if we cancel you, and you, and then put wood wall. Alright, step 2. Cancel, wood wall, because we have a lot of wood. Cancel. I know it's a little tedious, but building is a very important part of this game, and we're trying to beat winter right now, and I'm a little bit behind the 8-ball. Really don't want to hit a food shortage, which means I'm going to have a place where I can grow inside. So the last ones... We'll keep the granite sidewall, because why not? Which means we're going to need to relay the power lines here. Well, we do have a little bit of power right now. We'll probably get away with this for now. I think that'll reach. That might not actually reach. We'll see about that. Okay, so we did actually stop sowing here. So September 10th, the end of the month. As hopefully we need to get our heaters in. We're getting our blocks in. I guess what that means in that case is that we don't need you crafting right now. We need you building. Andy, once again, is our Swiss Army knife. He kind of does everything. Which I'm glad he didn't die, but he also is very prone to getting stressed. So we still have our meals. Phoebes is still making clothes. Oh, we already have a sculptor's table too. Well, that's a waste. Why did I think that we had one up there? Well, let's... Have we even made any small sculptures yet? From the looks of it, I don't know. But at least we're getting most of our harvest in. Vector, have you even leveled up yet? Yes, he is growing level 5 now. So that counts for something, and October is here, which means the growing season is pretty much over. So we're going to have to make do with what we have for the time being, which fortunately is stockpiled pretty well. So we'll have to go and see whatever else we can hunt here, which once again, it's very unfortunate that our best hunters... Let's hear, you're a good hunter, but Ala, can you use a gun, is my question. You're caring, you're social, you're psychically deaf. I don't know if we have a great gun for you or not. But you should be able to, with your personal shield, you should be able to knife down some critters, assuming October comes and the critters haven't gone into hibernation right now. So we can send you on the hunt. We can pick up some stray steel. It's a lot of boars. Some bears. We do not want to hunt all these elks, as great as that meat would be. The problem with hunting all of the elks is that, well, they want sweet, sweet revenge, and then they all come after you, and they stampede you, and you die. That's how a lot of people lose their first colony. Let's hear anything else. There's one other bunny over here. Alright. So we do want to have the biodome here in time. It's like Andy and Keys are trying to build this. And I guess if I'm doing that up there and we need the steel auto door, we also need this over here, which means we're going to need another turret. God, I really need to get better technology than just improvised turrets. But we are about to have an indoor greenhouse. I think. There we go. Well, almost indoors. Let's go ahead and actually, we can cancel this as well. Let's put wood wall here. And how are we doing with power in that case? Looks like we're gonna have our connections okay. So, oh, Ala actually got hurt. This is why we shoot boars, I guess. Alright. So, Ala, let's take you off of the hunting right now. We'll put somebody else on hunting when the time comes. I need to get more guns. Because I don't want to hunt with like an incendiary something or other. But we do have some clothes. We actually have some pretty good clothes. And we do have good climate control in most of our rooms, but not all of our rooms yet, so it's probably going to be time to call an episode here in just a little bit, but like I said, I just want to make sure that we have everything in place. Because if you see here right now, it's getting cold. Some of the stuff's starting to disappear. We're not quite indoors yet. We got a lot of wood, but not enough. So come on, just this last area. Andy, are you building? I really need to get Andy to just prioritize building this wall. I mean, the wood's right there. And there we go, it's indoors. So it's indoors, it's climate controlled. Got 2 heaters. Probably one more heater. I just want to make sure that we are really good here. So temperature heater down here, and then we can go ahead and cut these on, designate power, and you can actually create a growing zone right here. And you can create a growing zone right here. So this is still corn. And you can see it's not going to be, some of it's going to be outside of the sun plants. So it'll still grow as long as it's there. Can we deselect zones? I guess with this button. So we can dezone this. Dezone this. It'll get to finish. Same for you. And once we delete these zones, we can actually make this a area where people can live as well, I guess, or something. But right now the temperature is regulated in here, so we do have food supply for the winter between rice, potatoes, corn. Should probably honestly switch this over to medicine. That does take longer to grow, and we don't need as much of it. But there we go. Our power needs are we're suddenly very power hungry again. It looks like we might be okay. We do need a light in here though, so overall pretty successful. I can go ahead and set the geothermal generator to build over here. We do have a combat supplier, so let's go ahead and send Vector over. Let's talk. I want to see what we can buy and what we can sell. Alright, so we can sell a great bow, which is poor Pila, poor this. I'm going to sell all of these primitive weapons. We actually have other plasteel knives, which is interesting. Artillery shells are on sale. But what I want is a gun of some way, shape, or form. And we can get 1,000 right now. Assault rifle or pump shotgun. Alright, general purpose military weapon for field and urban combat, fires 3-round burst, good range, low power, high rate of fire. Or pump shotgun. Ain't designed, deadly but short range. If this is mainly a hunting weapon right now, let's get one pump shotgun. Because we need to save our coins for a rainy day here. So we are going to go ahead and drop the plasteel knife. And where'd that shotgun go? Right there. Well, it's October now. And you can go back to hunting now. Because we're going to need all the meat. But yeah, as the temperature starts to drop, fortunately we do have our greenhouse area in place. Now these sun lamps, which take 1600 power and 1600 power. And note that this geothermal generator creates 36. So that's practically all the power. Pretty just rough to keep in mind here. But we're not short on power right now. In fact, are we actually going to be able to build the second geothermal generator? That'd be awesome if we could. In fact, I probably should go ahead and build just a little bit more security here. I don't like how close people were able to get to my town the last time. And we can build some switches in place to kind of flick some of the stuff off when it comes to it. Because right now, these can be turned off. This can be turned off. This one can be turned off. So overall, I think we're doing pretty good. That's probably going to be it for this episode here. We actually need to make sure that we are allowed to sow in here again. So this is growing potatoes. And this one should allow sowing as well. Let's just make sure we didn't screw that up. How can I select this field? There we go. So yeah, these should all be able to be sowed, which is pretty good once we get there. Because Vector doesn't have a lot of growing work to do right now. And you're going to see these plants are dying right away. Oh, fire. Is that fire already out? Yeah, so it's just going to be a little better prepared. So shield user has ranged weapon. We can actually drop a personal shield. What else? See, already 38 degrees Fahrenheit, so just a little bit overgrowing. If we look at the cotton plant here, out of ideal temperature, its ideal temperature range is low. Yeah, I think that's about it for this episode. This is Asher with more RimWorld. Things are going pretty well. It's actually forced Andy to clean up real quick. We need to have some cleanup in these areas. Let's not forbid these items that were dropped. We just want them to go out of here. So, once we force some people to clean up in here, Phoebes, I can even force you to clean up. Well, you know what? Let's prioritize cleaning Vomit of Andy. And I'll see if I can remember next episode what exactly I've done here. So, Andy, I'm going to force you in here. For some reason, Andy was able to walk out there. I guess he was already there. But that's it for now. Thanks for watching. This is Asher. I'll see you next time with even more RimWorld, where we'll see. We didn't have any encounters this time, but I think that's because we had such brutal encounters before. So the next one's coming, and it's probably going to hit really hard, or the winter's coming. Thanks for watching. Sorry if this went a little long. I'll see you next time.